Let's talk about Dirty Diana. Yet again. You're killing me. At this point, I'm silent. I'm on the phone and I'm just like, what do you mean she has a boyfriend? You just said she has a husband. Well, she has a boyfriend and a husband. So apparently the person paid her for the papers, but she's not necessarily with him. But now she has a boyfriend that she's actually living with. So maybe that will, keep her calm and, she'll be on her P's and Q's and she won't be doing any bullshit. This is not going to end well. I'm telling you, it's going to be some shit. Padisa, don't say that. Fast forward that weekend, I go to my parents' house and we start talking about Dirty Diana again. And my mom's like, oh yeah, don't forget, she's coming here this weekend. And my dad's like, yeah, it's been a while since she's been here. I said, yep. And I don't understand why you guys are letting her stay here because every single time she comes here, it's a problem. My dad gonna chime in like, oh, don't say that about your cousin. She really likes you. A lot of people like me. That doesn't mean I have to fraternize with them and enable their nonsense. But okay, I guarantee you there's going to be some shit this time. Fast forward a week or two later, I get a phone call from my mom. I pick it up and who's on the line? Dirty Diana. Allo, Kuz, comment ye? Kote ye? Cousin, how are you? Where are you? Hi, Dirty Diana. I'm fine. I'm at my house. Okay, well, we definitely have to kick it. Well, at this point, I'm just like, why the fuck is it every time she comes, she never tells anyone? Like, she kind of just like, okay, I'm coming soon. And then soon could be anywhere from next week to the next 6 months within that time frame. She just shows up. So I'm just like, oh, when did you land? She's like, oh, yesterday. First, I was in New York and then I ended up coming here. But, I'm just visiting for right now. I'm not staying at your mom's house. I'm going to be at your aunt's house. By the way, click. Yes, I banged on her. I think it's literally the most disrespectful thing to bang on people, but everybody knows I do not talk to my fucking aunt, okay? Aunt is the same lady I be talking about on Patreon. If you guys are on the Patreon, I've been telling stories about how basically my aunt ended up being the way she is today and how she is the one that traumatized me and my cousins. So everybody knows I don't talk to that lady. I don't bang with that lady. Even my cousins, They on and off bang with her, but every single time they try to forge a relationship with her, she starts drama. I don't fuck with that lady, okay? That's also my mother's sister. Yeah, I just don't fuck with her. You feel me? So it's just like, yeah, don't talk to me about that lady. And it's so funny because they all try to like think it's funny and they try to kind of like bring her up like it's a joke. Like, when I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. Later on, I think it was that day or the next day, I end up going to the house and it's her and it's Ricardo and they're talking about how my aunt really wants to see me and I should stop being so mad at her. Listen, the lady fucking traumatized me to the point where I needed to go to therapy to go through my emotions of not being so emotional during the holiday season. Because of her, me and my cousins barely celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas because one of my cousins is so bad to the point where when she sees Christmas trees, she literally goes into a panic attack. So I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, I need to figure it out. I don't hate the lady per se, but I would choose not to fuck with her before she traumatizes me some more because I had to go to therapy for a very long time to get through that. So they're just like, oh, she really wants to see you and ja. So I really don't care about what y'all talk about. First of all, I think y'all are being messy because I'm very sure she hasn't said anything like that. But also it's like y'all need to mind y'all own damn business. Okay. Like I don't really understand why y'all bothering me with this bullshit right now. So whatever. They're trying to sit there like, no, you need to talk to her. You're going to talk to her. One day we're just going to take you there. I said I would never even drive in the car with either one of you fucking degenerates. I've literally never been in the car with Ricardo and I don't think I ever will. All right. I don't know if I trust his driving because I barely trust his breathing or anything else that comes out of his mouth. So I'm not going to trust the way he drives. Okay. So we were going back and forth about that. And then I was just telling her like, oh, so are you staying at your mom's house? She's like she just looked at me. I said, the fuck? You and your mom be sharing the same man. So I don't know why you looking at me like I just said something crazy. And she said, oh, don't talk to me about my mother. I'm like, hold up. So you're telling me that you're beefing with your mom, meanwhile you're coming at me for beefing with my aunt. And she's like, oh, well, but that's different because, you know, you were raised with your aunt. No, the fuck I wasn't. Like, yeah, my mom was there. Like when she just came from Haiti and she had me like while she was staying at my aunt's house, but ain't nobody was raised with her. Niggas was there for like 2 or 3 years. Whoop-de-whoop. I barely remember it. But that's your goddamn mom in which y'all share the same man most of the time. So I don't understand what y'all beefing for. She's like, oh, I don't want to talk about her. I was like, so what's the story? Nah, tell me because y'all all up in my business. Tell me the story with your mom and why you're not staying with your mom. Oh, well, she's disrespectful. She's this. That's all I'm going to say. I said, bro, tell me the story. She gonna say, well, if you give me $20, I'll tell you the story. I really sat there and pulled out $20 and gave it to her. And she's like, all right, well, basically, one of our family members died and she didn't want to foot the bill on that. Mind you, did I not tell y'all that dirty Diana didn't fit the bill on her own father's funeral and left her brother with the bill? Like mother, like daughter, the apple does not fall too far from the tree. Okay, so she's like, oh, she's disrespectful and she's more concerned about men instead of burying family members. And I ain't got time for that. Honestly, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's really not that serious. And I'm very sure they'll get over it. So I was just like, oh, well, that's crazy. So where are you going to stay now? And she's like, oh, I'm going to stay here for a couple of... I look at my parents like, so you don't have anywhere else to go? Like, are you here visiting a boyfriend or anything like that? She's like, oh, no, actually, I have a boyfriend back home. You guys would really, really love him. We're going to call him Larry. You guys would really, really love Larry. He's a really, really nice guy. Da, 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 da. My mom being the messy woman she is. My mom is very fucking messy. Sometimes unintentionally and she doesn't understand she's being messy, but she's messy as fuck. So one day she goes out because that's what she does. She's always going out, especially with Ricardo, them together. Surprised they haven't got arrested together. Okay. So they go out and my mom's like, you're going to have to talk to your cousin. Do you not see the way she looks? I was like, what are you talking about? I ain't going to hold you. I didn't notice until my mom pointed it out. She's like, don't you see that she looks a little like raggedy and, you know, like her clothes, like she always comes here looking beautiful, having brand new clothes, hair done, but like she just looks crazy and she's always drinking. Mind you, this is like maybe 3 or 4 days later when I came back. Or maybe, honestly, I'm lying. It's the next following weekend. She's like, all she does is go out and talk loudly on the phone and I can't take it anymore. Like at this point, like my mom's actually like genuinely annoyed, but she's also like kind of concerned. And I'm just like, I don't know what you mean. Like, don't you remember how every single time Diana comes here, she's extremely pretty and she has her clothes together. She has her hair done. She has her nails done. But this time. She's come with barely any clothes. She looks raggedy. All she does is drink. All she does is talk on the phone and go out with Ricardo. Like, it's very concerning. I said, I don't fucking know, call her nigga. Oh, well, see, the thing is with her man, there's something really wrong with him. Like, he's really overprotective, and I don't know if I really like him. Basically, he's mad at her because she came here without his permission. So I'm sitting here confused because I'm like, what are you even talking about? Well, apparently the dude didn't know that Diana was going to be coming here. So doesn't she live with this boyfriend? Yeah, she lives with this boyfriend. But apparently when she told him she was coming here, he said no, and he didn't agree with it because he thought that she was going to come here to meet some man. I said, well, yeah, that's what she always does. At least he knows who he's with, but that doesn't mean that, he can control her. And that doesn't mean she's actually going to listen to what he says. And she was like, yeah, but like, it's to the point where she thinks that Ricardo's her boyfriend and she doesn't believe that we're her real family. At this point, I start rolling. I said, I'm sorry, come again? She said, yeah, the dude is crazy. The dude was talking to me on the phone and I was trying to tell him like, yeah, she's basically like a niece to me, but we're cousins and Ricardo's also her cousin and you are also her cousin. I said, don't put me in this bullshit. I told y'all don't let this lady stay here. Every single time she stays here is some shit. And now look, she said, yeah, like it's crazy. Like the dude's crazy. Like the dude started cussing me out and cussing her out and cussing Ricardo out and said, well, I wish he would cuss me out because I'm not the fucking one. And why are you letting this little degenerate talk to you like that? Because the fuck, she was like, honestly, I don't want nothing to do with it. She's annoying as fuck and I don't really want her here anyway. I said, no, she's going to stay. You know why? Because when I told you don't have this girl staying here, you try to act like, oh, she's family. So she's family. So she's going to stay. Fast forward to the next day. I come back to basically like, honestly, I really wanted to like observe what my mom was talking about. And yeah, no, it was ridiculous. All she does is sit on the phone talking loud as fuck. I was looking at her suitcase. I was looking at her clothes and I'm like, okay, yeah, it does look a little off. And then that's when, she came back. Cause when I had came in there, she wasn't there. So she had come back. I guess she was with Ricardo. And I was just like, so where's, your boyfriend? Like, how does your boyfriend feel about you being here? And she goes, oh, nothing, he's fine. Yeah. He knew I was coming here. My mom just looked at her like, you're a fucking liar. He didn't know he was coming here because that man's doing the most. Like he's doing three much. So then she goes back in the room and she's about to change to head back out again. And she had put on these really tight short shorts and then like a loose fitted like muscle top. I ain't gonna hold you. It didn't look good. And then she put on some house slippers and she's about to go back out. And my mom was like, you going out like that? I said, I was looking at my mom like, why would you say that? And she said, don't you see what your legs look like? Like you got all of these little marks and scars on your legs. Like somebody beat you up. Like what's wrong with your legs? Why the hell Dirty Diana gonna say, oh, it's my cholesterol? High cholesterol runs in our family. Even I've had high cholesterol and I'm finally bringing it down. I ain't never in my life had my legs look like that. I'm gonna hold you. It really looked like somebody was beating on her legs. And the crazy part is I didn't notice none of this shit until my mom like pointed it out because I'm not the type of person to look at a person and be like, oh, why you look like that? Unless it's really that drastic. And I mean, her shit wasn't, I wouldn't say it was drastic, but it was pretty serious considering she was a hot girl, like gorgeous, always had her shit together. So I'm looking at her like, yeah, nah, you might want to change your fit because it is not giving. I don't know. Like you really do look a little crazy. Like it's giving crackheads that be outside in Elizabeth. So she's like, whatever, I'm not going to listen to y'all. Like, she kind of just laughed it off. She went back outside. Ricardo was waiting for her. Ricardo sent her back inside, talk about some she's ashy. He sent her back inside to put on lotion. Nigga, you should have told her to just change the whole fucking outfit, but whatever. She goes, she puts on, I think she put on different shoes and she put on lotion. So she goes back out. My mom's like, honestly, her man is crazy. After you had left the other day, he basically called me trying to ask me if I was really related to her and if we're really related to her. And he started crying and threatening to kill himself. A bitch was never that serious. I said, what are you talking about? She said, yeah, like he started threatening to kill himself and saying that, she needs to come back or, she's going to come home and he's not going to be there. I take mental health seriously. And when it comes to suicide and stuff, I don't take that lightly. If this man is threatening to kill himself, one, he has problems, and two, something's going on with this whole her agreeing to come here or telling him that she was going to come here, because no man is going to sit there and say he wants to kill himself because a bitch went to go see her family. Like, this is very strange. I don't know what to even say about that. Like, are you sure, like, that, you know, she's actually supposed to be here, or like she's not fleeing a bad situation? She's like, I don't know, from the marks on her body to the way her clothes look. Like, when I'm telling you her clothes just look bad, like it was giving like she picked up the clothes off of like the street. Like, it wasn't great. And she's never been like that. So I waited for her to come back, and she happened to be on the phone with the dude. She's like, oh, c'est ma cousine, da da da, say hi. She's an artist, she's a YouTuber. I'm like, could you please not tell my business like that before he Google me, try to get my address and try to kill my ass before he kills his own ass? I ain't got time for that. So I'm just like, hi. And he's literally on the FaceTime just looking like, your cousin, okay, hi. Like, basically, like, he don't believe it. I said, first of all, sir, mind you, all of this is going on in Creole. I said, yeah, no, c'est ma cousine. Ricardo c'est cousin moi too, you know? And he's like, oh, okay, d'accord. And I'm just looking at him like, fucking weird, okay? But I realized the entire time she was there, she had to be there for maybe 2 weeks, not even a full 2 weeks. She literally was constantly on the phone with him. And he assumed that she was gonna be out with another dude. From what I understand, she probably didn't even get to be out with whatever dude she came to visit, because he was constantly calling her and constantly like making her out to be a liar, which she is. And obviously he knows who he been with. But it's just like, it was just a little weird, and it was a little bit controlling. And I just feel like if you're gonna be with somebody that you can't trust, you just should not be with them. Okay, it never ends well. By this point, my mom is like genuinely annoyed with Diana and just really wants her out the house. I ended up pulling up during the week at this point, and she's just like angry. Like, my mom like booted Joe like this, like just looking like this. And every single time Diana talks, she's just like, oh my God, just tell her to shut up already. Oh, well, go valet your claret, go drink your beer. Like, my mom was coming crazy at her, and I'm just looking at her like, did you, like, is something going on? Like, did you do something to her? Like, I don't know why my mom acting like that. She said, oh, you know, this family's crazy. You know, we just be acting crazy. You know, she don't really mean it. And I'm looking at her like, no, my mom really means it. And my mom's not an angry person. Like, yeah, she pop her shit, but like, she's not about to sit there and be angry for no reason. Like, the way she was coming at her, it was like every single time Diana said something to me, she was like, yeah, because all she do is drink all day. Tell her to go fuck a nigga. Tell her to go drink her beer. And I'm just like, so, of course, Dirty Diana leaves again, and I go to my mama. I said, what is up with you? Like, why are you coming at her like that? And she said, because she gets on my fucking nerves. Like, literally, like, mama was like, yo, she's getting on my nerves. She needs to get out of here. All she does is talk on the phone all day and night with this dude that's probably beating her ass. And then all she does is drink. She don't even eat. And because all she's doing is drinking, she's sitting here throwing up. I'm like, throwing up? She's like, yeah. Every time she comes home from wherever the hell she is, whether it's 10 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning, she's throwing up all night. I can't sleep because of it. Like, you need to get her out of here. This is what happens when niggas don't listen to me. No, you need to get her out of here, because you're the one that insisted on her staying here. I told you her staying here was going to be a bad idea. So at this point, you made your bed, lay in it. Like, I don't understand why you guys keep doing this nonsense of, oh, well, you need to get rid of this person, or you need to tell that. No, I don't need to do anything, because I told you guys that this was going to be a bad idea. Fast forward one day, her and Ricardo go out per usual. And apparently the dude goes ballistic and calls my mom again. I don't even understand how the fuck the nigga got my mom's number. Like, can we talk about that? I still to this day don't understand it. But anyways, he starts calling my mom, going off, talking about if she don't tell Diana to come back home literally in the next 24 hours, she's gonna come home and she's gonna have a fucking problem, because he's not gonna be there and he's not gonna be paying shit, and she's gonna be out on the street. Like, literally just going the fuck off. So now my mom tells Ricardo, like, yeah, you're going to have to talk to Dirty Diana, because her man is going crazy. And, you know, you're just going to have to tell her, like, what she's doing don't make sense, because there's no reason for her to have a boyfriend that she lives with, for her to travel internationally and not tell him. Like, that's wrong. But regardless of the fact, like, he's doing too much and I don't want anything to happen. So Ricardo goes and tries to tell Dirty Diana. See, I don't know how Ricardo approached the situation, but Ricardo goes and talks to Diana and says, hey, you know, Your dude called Matan, which is, he always calls my mom Matan. Your dude called Matan, which is aunt. And basically he's going off saying that if you don't come home, because you're not going to be able to come back in the house, or, his stuff is going to be gone and you're going to be left to fend for yourself. So at this point, she gets super upset because on top of that, Ricardo basically tries to tell her that she was wrong for just leaving and not telling him where she was going. And I mean, I agree with that, but the dude is kind of doing too much in my opinion. Comment down below what you guys think, because I'm like, even if that were the case, it's like you're kind of doing too much. But I do understand, like, especially if you live with someone, you just leave and you go to the United States, you don't tell them. But judging from how she came, the bruises on her, I'm like, who's to say he wasn't beating the shit out of her? Come to find, apparently the dude was beating the shit out of her. And it became a thing where I guess she was trying to stay over there to let shit boil over. I to be honest, I really don't know that part of the story, but according to her, she said that he was beating on her and stuff like that. And that's what she told Ricardo. But obviously she ended up getting really mad at Ricardo because by the next day she was gone. Nobody knew where she was. Mind you, she's very close to Ricardo. She tells Ricardo everything. She ups, leaves, packs her shit, disappears, doesn't tell anyone anything. And I don't know where she is either because she didn't tell me anything. So now everybody's contacting me per usual, because how many stories have I told about Dirty Diana and people are always assuming that I know where the fuck she is? Except this time she didn't say that I knew where she was because she didn't say anything. She just packed her stuff, she left, and she disappeared. And my mom's like, well, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, Dirty Diana ends up disappearing. Nobody knows what happens to her. Everybody is just like trying to look for her, trying to message her, trying to call her, and she's not answering the phone. At this point, the family catches wind and they're just like, you guys need to find her. And I'm honestly trying to make an effort to find her because she is an international guest, okay? I don't have time for no damn France embassy or whatever the case may be to be raining down on me because we have a missing international guest. Like, that's literally what happens. Like, if you have someone staying at your house and they put your address or whatever it is, whatever address they put on that form when you're coming in, that customs form, they're going to be looking for them there. In this case, I don't believe she put our address because she doesn't know our address really. But whatever. The point is, our family, somebody in our family has their name and their address on that customs form. The girl is went missing. We don't know where the fuck she is. And I'm concerned because as far as I'm concerned, she hasn't really been seeing any dudes really. Like, she's flirted with a couple guys, she's been to the club, but she hasn't been like with dudes like prior. Like prior, she'd be in a hotel, she'd be in a house, she'd be whatever. So I'm just like, I don't know where the fuck she is and I don't know why she's hiding or doing whatever, but it's like, y'all must have really pissed her off by telling her that she was wrong. She apparently ends up going back to France. Her dude literally paid for the ticket. Okay, paid for the ticket, and after that, she never answered any of us. She hasn't talked to me. She hasn't talked to Ricardo. And literally, as we're sitting here looking for this girl, my dad gonna chime in like, oh yeah, y'all didn't know? She said she was leaving. She said bye to me. And we look at him like, what do you mean? Oh yeah, like she said, mon oncle, I'm leaving. And she just walked out the door. And my mom's like, where was I? And my dad's like, oh, you were right there. Like, you were sitting like in the living room. She ain't say nothing to you? At this point, my mom is pissed. If you guys are Haitian, foreign, shit, for anybody watching this, you know how disrespectful it is to just leave someone's house that you invited them to be a guest at, and they ain't even gonna say bye to you. She just left. She didn't say bye to my mom. She didn't. So at this point, my mom is really upset. Like, she is like borderline about to cry. And my dad is just laughing. Like, oh, she didn't say bye to you? Wow, that's crazy. Oh my God. Like, yo, every 2 seconds, I kid you not, every 2 seconds, damn, she really is say bye to you. And my mom was just looking at him mad as fuck. Like, this shit is not even funny. And I hit up Ricardo like, yo, did she tell you that she was leaving? He was like, no, I didn't know nothing about this. Like, I don't even know how she got to the airport. Like, we are just all so confused because she literally up and left without telling anybody anything. And with all the antics that she's pulled over the years, all the bullshit that she's done, all the trouble she's gotten me in, it's the audacity to come to my parents' house that they offer you time and time again when you're always doing bullshit to not say goodbye to my mother when you're leaving. Despite the fact that a lot of us thought it was a DV thing, we did find out later that she actually came to Jersey to meet with her secret lover that she was communicating with before she got here. But then as soon as she touched down, he just ghosted her, stopped answering everything. And it's crazy because apparently this dude had a wife and kids and all of that, but he said he was going to leave the wife and the kids to be with her. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's both. Maybe it was a bad situation in France and she came here to escape it with the new dude, but then the new dude ain't answer. Child, always some shit. It's been at least 4 to 5 months. Nobody's heard from her. She hasn't said shit. I don't even think she's interacted with any of my posts on social media. I don't know what the fuck her problem was. I don't know what might have happened between her and my mom that really like topped it for her. But yeah, ain't no more dirty Diana coming to my damn parents' house because this is absolutely ridiculous. People do not listen to me. And it's crazy because there's actually another story that I was not aware of where she came down there before I was in high school, but I wasn't around. I was like staying at DMX's house or whatever, where my dad literally had to physically take her and bring her back to her mom's house because she was acting up. So yeah. With that being said, let me know what you guys think about this story down below. What do you think really happened to Dirty Diana? Because to be quite honest with you, I can't put my finger on it because like I really don't think whatever it was that deep, but it was that deep to her. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys so very much. Join the Patreon and of course follow me on Instagram. And I'ma see y'all